believe I shared a coconut rice recipe with you all about anywhere from 8 to 10 years ago. I really don't recall. So many recipes over at CaribbeanPod.com. Close to maybe 1,300, I think. But anyways, in that version, we use a rice cooker. So if you want a simplified version, which is using the rice cooker, you can head over to CaribbeanPod.com. That recipe is there. This recipe that you're seeing today will also be available at CaribbeanPod.com within the next 48 hours or so. Coconut rice. So I want to amplify the coconut flavor. So I'm starting with a tablespoon of coconut oil. And for that, I'm going to add, I've got scallion. I went to the grocery store looking for, I'll be honest with you, chives give you a better product. Yeah, I love the flavor of chive because it has this sort of garlic sort of flavor in there. But I'm only paying $6 Canadian for maybe 20 little sprigs of chive. Nah, I ain't rocking that way. My heat is on low. It was on medium. I turned it down on low. To help further flavor things, I've got 1 clove of garlic. Just gonna add that to the rice pot here. Move that around. And the whole idea is to start off with a bit of flavor. And I have here 1, 2, 3 sprigs of thyme. Low heat, and let that go for about 3 minutes on that low heat. I'd also like to add some fresh ground black pepper in there. I also want to get some lemon zest in there. It's going to give it a lovely punch of citrus flavor. To play on the sweetness of the coconut, I have some raisins along with some diced dried pineapple. Give that a quick stir, and all of that's just going to soften up the dried pineapple. You know, any sort of dried fruits that you like using, you can add it in here. It's just going to give it, you know, like I said, we're just playing on the natural sweetness of the coconut milk. The dried pineapple or whatever fruit that you decide on using will further hydrate when we put the sort of cooking liquid in here. In this case, I'm going to use water. Additionally, if you wanted to add cashew nuts or peanuts or any one of those things, you can fortify this coconut rice with, you know, more niceness. At this point, we've got the washed basmati rice, and I'm going to add that. Yeah, it's been washed, trust me. It's looking grainy, but there's water in there. We're going to add that basmati rice directly to the pot. 2 cups of basmati rice, which has been washed. Just going to hit that a stir it up to sort of coat the rice pieces with that flavored coconut oil that we started off with there. When I say flavored, it is because we've got the black pepper, the thyme. If you wanted to add a little Scotch bonnet pepper in there, you can. We've got the scallion. And believe it or not, that pineapple will give it a nice little flavor as well too. Now at this point is where we're gonna crank up the heat to medium high because we've got to put braising liquid. And that liquid is courtesy of water. And that is 3 3/4 cups of water. Usually it's a 2-to-1 ratio, but I like holding back just a tiny bit on the water because I want the rice more fluffy later on. I don't like adding too much liquid in there. Yeah, if you wanted to add a bit of vegetable stock or chicken stock, you can. But then what's going to happen is it's going to sort of taint or change the flavor of the coconut. And speaking about coconut, I've got 2 tablespoons of coconut cream that I'm just going to tuck down inside there. And as that water heats up, it is going to melt. Now if you don't have the pure coconut cream, you can always hold back on 1 cup of water and add coconut milk directly in there. If it's coconut milk powder you're using, you can rehydrate it into 3 3/4 cups of water. I'm just going to hit that another quick stir like so, and we're just missing 1 more ingredient. There's a little bit of coconut milk left back there, and that is salt. We need salt, of course, and I like using sea salt. You can use your favorite salt. All we need to do now is bring this up to a boil. It's starting to come to a boil, then we're going to reduce it to a simmer, put the lid on, and let that go. I am using a clay pot, yeah? So I know there's a lot of residual heat here. Let's take that out. It's been 12 minutes, 11, 12 minutes. What I'm gonna do, and I really don't want much of the heat to escape here, is I'm gonna turn off the stove at this point, put back the lid on there, and let that remain for about 5 to 7 minutes before I fluff it. If you're using a metal pot, I would say 15 minutes, and then give it the resting period of about 5 to 7 minutes, and then fluff it. So this is where we're at right now. 5 minutes later, and I'll show you the sort of finished product. Stove is going off. Sup, soldiers? Listen, if you enjoy this recipe, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and click that bell notification thing. If you've made the recipe, take a picture and send it to me. Email address down here. I mean, trying to tell people the email address, them butts will take the address and do all kind of thing with it. And tag me on Instagram at Caribbean Pot. I really appreciate you guys, and thanks for being in my kitchen with me today. Irie? Irie. We then remove the lid. I better get a holder. And all we're gonna do now is fluff that baby up. Just look at that niceness. At the same time, you can remove the time stems. They've done their job. And brilliantly done. So simple. And I'm telling you, this is gonna be a hit with you, your family, your friends, whoever you're serving it to. Yo, it's pure points you're winning. Chris here, CaribbeanPod.com. Always a pleasure having you all in the kitchen with me. I do hope you get an opportunity to try this coconut rice. I have a couple fish recipes coming up which would pair well with this. So keep it in your back pocket for now. Irie? Irie.